Hello, everybody. How you doing? Jesse Noriega, Executive Director of the Greater Quad Cities Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for tuning in and watching our next episode of Bridging Cultures, Building Businesses. Today, I have a couple different people on here today. I do have a special guest host, Joe Gibbs. He's actually our videographer for all of these events from White Pigeon Creative. So none of this would happen without him, and some of the other things that we do that you guys see is also done by him. However, our guest today really doesn't need any introduction, but first I'm going to let Joe introduce himself, but other than that, wait till you see who our guest is.
Yeah, I'm Joe Gibbs, White Pigeon Creative, the guy behind the camera for all these episodes. Excited to hop in and do one of these today.
Yeah, and so we're happy to have him. However, our guest today, I'm going to let him introduce himself because everybody knows who he is, but you never really hear his voice. So this might be the first time you get to hear his voice. So go ahead, tell him who you are.
My name is Antonio Varela. I am AJV original photographer and the owner of the business. Thank you for inviting me. Hopefully we don't get in trouble. But yeah, thank you for the invite, and let's see where we go from here.
Definitely. Well, I want to start this by saying everyone in the Quad Cities has probably had, especially in the minority communities, have had the privilege of seeing your work. Even if they didn't know it was you, they've had the privilege of seeing your work because you do so much throughout the Quad Cities. Let people know some of the things that you do.
I do a lot of photography work, whether it's family sessions, quinceañeras, weddings, to restaurants and food photography. I mean, anything that pays the bills, to tell you the truth, other than boudoir pictures or baby pictures. I'm too big to be handling the babies and everything,
That same thing here.
So, anything with the camera, I'm ready to go, especially if they're a transaction of money. So, let's go.
Well, you got to pay the bill. That's past the But the thing that I love about it is, and the cool thing is weird because it's like I get to talk to both of you about this. It's really capturing the memories that you get to capture throughout the Quad Cities of things that happen that people don't always get to hold on to if it wasn't for you being there, or you even, Joe, and the things that you guys do and you do what you get to capture, just being there and being able to capture that. So kind of walk me through the process of how that feels to be not just everybody's important event, but larger, community events that, how do you figure out? Like, I wouldn't even know what to take pictures of. That's why I'm not a photographer, because they'd be like, why'd you take a picture of that? The good stuff was happening over here. Like, how do you guys know what to do? How do you know what to capture?
Well, with me, it's as long as I'm able to be creative, if the communication is, this is what we expect, and you hand me off hey, you be creative with it, then I know, like, okay, what tells the story best? What do I see? What do I like? And a lot of it comes from just my culture. No matter what event it is, whether it's a Mexican event or whether it's just a random birthday event, anything that I capture, I try to make sure that I bring what I've seen, what I've lived, what I've dreamed or dreamt, however you want to say it, how you're supposed to say it. Whether it's living in the Floreciente or being in Mexico, all those experiences I try to capture or put in a certain picture, whether it's a portrait, whether it's a food item, whether it's a landscape portrait or photo. I try my best to get a detailed piece of the bigger story so that those little pieces can be put together and you can see, here's a story. So sometimes, I'll tell you the truth, it's luck. I don't want to tell the whole, secret behind photography, but sometimes it's luck. Like, you're taking a picture, that looks good, let me click it. And then when you put it in the computer and open it up to edit, I was like, this is actually a good shot. Let me just turn it this way. Boom, my God. Like, it's amazing. So, and it's fun. So a lot of skill and a lot of luck is how we or I take pictures at least at events or at any session.
Yeah, and then, I mean, and how was it working with other photographers? I mean, you guys have worked together at our gala event, and I gotta say, no matter how nice our gala was or whatever we did on the back end to make it happen, the comments that I hear from how you have both captured it is just amazing. So, I mean, obviously you have no problem working with other people, but I do know companies and people that are like, they can't, so that's pretty awesome. And obviously, is that something you do pretty commonly, like on a regular? Or?
So a lot of times, especially when it comes to huge events, whether it's parades, festivals, or even weddings, there's always going to be somebody, whether they're hired or whether they're just an uncle part of the family that has a camera.
Bob.
Yeah. So I'm very experienced where it doesn't matter. Luckily, I'm tall enough, not as tall as this guy, but I'm tall enough where I can go wherever. My knees are still good. I can bend down real quick and get up, and so I'm very flexible. And if it's a friendly face or a friendly person, it's even more enjoyable and more easier to do the job. I've been on both sides, or seen both aspects of, this photographer, videographer, super strict or super all right, chill out, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Or I've worked with Joe and side by side, and it was perfectly fine and awesome, and it was fun actually. So
Yeah, it's community over competition.
Yeah.
I think, and I guess it's the same with all business, right? The community part of it is better than the us competing against each other. So, and especially like when you're hired for photo at a gig, I'm hired for video, we're gonna get a better product for our client, for the event, if we just work together.
Right.
And communication, like all things, as long as you're open with each other. And I've had the jerks as well that you work with, and they're hard to work with, but I don't know, the Quad Cities especially, all the photographers here and videographers, like, I have not had problems with. There's a pretty good photography community here.
Yeah, no, definitely. Big shout out to Jessica Ortiz, Vanessa Godoy. Those are some awesome people that I always recommend because they're awesome at what they do. But definitely, it's always community over competition. I mean, I see it that way. Don't get me wrong. When I see a photo, whether it's Joe's, or Jessica's, or whoever, if I see that it's an amazing photo, I'm gonna comment, "Oh, hey, that's fire! That's amazing!" And I'm gonna step my game up on the next session. Like, oh man. Even though it's two different styles, really it's all types of different styles. But I know that, man, I got to step my game up in my style, in my way of doing photography. Because, man, this picture that Joe took or this picture that Jessica took, man, it's amazing. So I still got the competitive spirit in me, but it's not a competition with other.
It's not like a negative thing. It's like we're working to bring each other up rather than bringing another person down to bring you up. It's kind of we all get better together. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
That's nice. Because, in business, some businesses, they are very cutthroat, and it's, I can't help them. But that's what I always try to preach to everybody on here, no matter who, my host or guest or whatever it is. Even if it's not a business owner and it's, a mayor or something, it's, the camaraderie between the two is essentially what's going to make everything better. I mean, everyone has to make sure they're still getting paid, but there's more than enough room for what's out here that people can really compliment each other and help. And even, like I said, in business, a lot of it is just give those tips, help those people, because that's going to pay off for you tenfold. It's not going to kill your business. And if given one little hint's going to make you go under and somebody else succeed, then you probably weren't going to make it anyways, if that one little hint's going to kill you. So, it's great to hear that and see that. But now let's get into some meat and potatoes of the whole thing. How did you even get started in photography? And were you ever discouraged, or what were some of the things that you were just this ain't for me? Yes, it was,
That's a good question. I didn't look towards the future, be like, oh, I'm gonna be a photographer. Right. There was a few things that I wanted to be. I wanted to be a Power Ranger. I wanted to be a teacher and a police officer and a singer. And a singer. So ever since I was little, I wanted to be, those four things. But throughout those early years, my mom says I wasted, but I invested a lot of my money in cameras, whether it's disposable cameras or, the top shelf at Walmart, like cameras. I love taking pictures of different angles, different styles. And then naturally, I was the one with the camera, taking pictures at the family cookouts, taking pictures of, portraits of Diaz and Theos, that right now are probably my favorite pictures, even though they're from way like beyond 15 years ago, before I was a professional. Like, those are my favorite pictures. But one day, my cousin's like, "Can you take our homecoming pictures?" Yeah. Click, click. And then she's like, "Here you go." I was like, "Oh, like, it just clicked." Then like, I was like, "Wow, wait for this." And so I started and thinking, okay, how do I brand myself? How do I promote? And tell you the truth, photography and business, I'm still learning, first of all, for both photography and business.
Same.
Because I think both of them are still like never ending learning subjects. But definitely photography and business, they don't teach you what you need to know in school. My parents didn't know. They came from Mexico. And, photography was or still is, maybe not, a little taboo compared to like, hey, go work at the warehouse, go work,
Not considered a job. Like, yeah, like almost like you said, like anything in the arts. Like, you want to be an artist, you want to do what?
Yeah.
How you gonna get paid? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
And so that was a little bit like, that's probably the only thing that really kind of pushed back was, it's not really a job, even though it is. I do believe in the arts. I do believe, whether it's painting, whether it's sculpture, whether it's photography, video, whatever it is, if you put in the work and you get that money back, that's you can build a life off of it as long as you put in the work necessary.
Did you ever receive get any like pushback from family, like, or anything, like, while you were like going towards this photography journey, like as a career? Did you ever get any like sort of pushback?
No, luckily, no. My parents, shout out to my mom and dad. They've always been supportive no matter what. When I wanted to be a Power Ranger, they took me to
Jump out the window.
They took me to the Mark when they had the Power Ranger show. When I wanted to be a teacher, I mean, anything that I wanted to be, a singer or whatever, they supported me in every aspect, and they still do.
That's awesome.
So luckily on that part, it's just, I think, me mentally, culturally knowing like, hey, this is, or is seen as kind of taboo to have it as a job, or not seen as a profession or whatever.
Yeah. I still have that, Rob. Like, do I actually have a job?
Yeah. So yeah, luckily my family was supportive. I think the hardest part was, and still is, the business aspect of it. And I think for everybody, we should be still getting as much exposure to opportunities of learning. I think that's why the Hispanic Chamber is awesome, because they do have those smaller events. That whether you were paying attention and you grab everything from that one speech from the speaker, or you just get a little pill of knowledge that they throw at you, like it's beneficial.
Right.
And I definitely still need a lot of it. But yeah, I don't even remember the question.
But no, that's all right. Because you kind of got hit twofold with a few questions in there, but you answered well. But it would really be kind of cool to be interviewing a Power Ranger. That would be. That would be cool. I can't say that I've ever done that one, or anyone else around here's ever been.
My ringtone for when they text me is a Power Ranger ringtone. So I'm still devoted.
Nice. Just waiting on your call. All right.
So yeah, as far as, like you said, always learning on the business side of everything. Which, yeah, I think that's. And then you say, do I have a job sometimes? I think that's a lot of, which speaks to you guys in the luck and the benefit of what you guys are doing, in the sense that obviously your job don't feel like work.
Yeah.
I mean, it does at
times.
Well, and at times everything will, but I mean, no matter what you love, you sometimes get frustrated with what you love, but you guys obviously love what you get to do, which is I mean, that's something most people don't get to say, to walk around sometimes and go, man, they're paying me to do this? Like,
I still have that. Still have that. Like almost every shoot, I'm like, I can't believe I'm paid to be here right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then to me, I think the great thing, obviously, my wife tells me all the time, I cannot take good pictures at all. If you go to her Instagram, she's always taking photos of herself. And I'm like, she's like, every once in a while she'll ask me to, and she's like, just forget it here. But I'm like, okay. Yeah, I couldn't do that. But I do see the art in it. And I love the fact that the memories that photographers get to capture that people wouldn't be able to have and take with them. Just like you said, your favorite pictures are of your uncles and aunts and stuff when you were just starting. And are they what you could do today? Probably not. But they're still your favorite pictures. And being able to capture that, not just for you guys, the immediate family and so forth, but for all these other people that get to look back years from now on some of the things that you guys have captured. I think that's an amazing feeling, you know. I would love to be able to do something like that, to hold that, because that's cool that you guys get to do that. But the one part you didn't answer, though, was where were the struggles? Where were the days that you said, you know what, maybe this camera thing ain't for me and I need to get a job, as they would call it, even though that's your job?
Yeah, I mean, the number one struggle that comes to my mind is when the SD card is not working after a wedding or something. Then I was like, oh man, what to do? Which I learned from the experience. Backup, my backup, and then 2 cards,
5 backup drives. I keep an extra hard drive in my car in case my house burns down. Like that. Yeah, it's dude.
But other than that, it's like, you know, sometimes going off of what he said, you know, you can't believe this is a job. So if we're feeling that way, everybody else around us is feeling that way sometimes. Like, you know, sometimes I had to spend hours editing video or photo or whatever. My kids are watching me be on the computer. They don't know what I'm doing. I can tell them I'm working, but sometimes they might think that I'm not, or they don't feel that way. I know, especially during COVID, I was lucky enough to have a part-time working from home. And then after I was done working that, you know, my part-time, I was doing mostly photography work. And, you know, like even just looking at me working on the computer doesn't look like I'm working.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm looking at other people's faces. I'm looking at different things. Like, they don't, yeah. I think that's probably the biggest challenge I've had, was like telling my family, hey, this is work. Like, hey, I know I went on Saturday or whatever, took pictures, but I have to bring it back and I have to make sure that these are good quality images. Which sometimes, depending on the type of event, it can take a while.
Oh yeah.
Depending on how many pictures I take, it can take a while. So take it as seriously as if I was at the event. Like,
Right.
so I think that was probably one of the biggest challenges that I've had. That and taxes.
No, my God.
Oh, we're in the volume down now, or taxer.
Yeah, be the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
Nice. So where would you like to see your photography go in the next few years? Like,
That's a hard question, Jesse. I'm not sure. I didn't get into photography as a goal, or photography as the goal, if that makes sense. Nor do I have a goal right now. I just want to continue doing what I love to do, especially those small projects that are very personal to me, like that highlight the Mexican community, the Mexican culture, and still while making money with weddings and quinceañeras and family sessions and events. I just want to capture what I've seen, what I've experienced. For example, I think my first big, like, personal project was with Ray Torranes. I messaged him. He's like, hey, do you have the ballet folklorico charro suit? You know, does it fit you? And he said, I hope so. Why? I was like, I would love to see you dancing under the I-74 bridge, the old one before it got blown up. I just see it in my head, and I would like to take some pictures. I was like, yeah. I was like, why? I was like, well, I just want to show, you know, that there's a Hispanic community here in the Quad Cities, you know, and we're not a small community. It's a huge community. He said, yeah, let's do it. Bought some smoke bombs. I was like, all right, let's see what comes of it. Told him to dance, do some poses, and it's probably one of my favorite pictures of all time is him in his suit, with some smoke under the I-74 bridge. And I was like, nobody's done this. Nobody probably will do this. Like, but this is what I want to see. This is what I want my kids to see. Like, hey, like there's representation somewhere out there. I was like, and I know at least on my part, I'm putting on my platform or what I'm capturing representation of who they are, where they come from, and what they could be. And I continue doing it with Jesus Cruz on the new 74 bridge before they opened out. I'm not gonna say how we did it, but we got out there. We brought his car out there. He was breakdancing, and it was perfect. It's just there's so many different ideas and projects that I've done that I want to do, that I want to continue doing, as a photographer and as a Mexican American photographer, really, to tell you the truth, because that's my favorite photographers capture the culture and capture the real world around them, and that's what I want to do, or that's how I want to be seen at least, because it makes me feel good. So hopefully it makes other people feel good seeing it. So yeah, in 5 years, going back to your question, I have no idea where I want to be. I just know that I want to continue doing those projects and still be financially stable.
Well, you really answered it in that, because I mean, there's people that say, hey, I've done it for a while. I want to be out from behind the camera, and I just want to have my own company and send other people out and do stuff. So no, I mean, that just tells me and everybody else that the passion's still there. You know, you still have that hunger to, I want to do more. I want to capture more. I've got ideas. You're not at the point where you're just like, hey, I did my thing and I want other people to do it, and I'll just get a company and we'll spread out and do this. So, because some people do, they rather just have a company and play a role in it, but not necessarily be out there, you said, for weekends, evenings at home, being present, but not present with the family when they're going, hey, let's do this, that. And you're like, no, I still got a couple hours of work to do, and them understanding that, well, this is how we're going to go on vacation. This summer, so, no, you did answer it, and you answered it quite well, because now people that see us know that that's your passion and that.
Man, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love to do weddings. I love to do quinceañeras. So, don't think that I don't like to do it, because I love doing it. I love still capturing, the love, the growth of family. Like, I love doing it. And I still try to capture that with the same passion, level of passion, those stories. And yeah, I still want to continue to do it until, can't do it no more with arthritis and my knees are bad, but I want to do it till forever, really.
Yeah, by then, you'll be able to blink in the glass and you say, you'll be all good. What would you say to any aspiring artists that want to do something in photography, or, what would your words of advice or wisdom be to them?
I think my biggest thing with anything, whether it's being a photographer, artist, a leader in the community, whatever it is, my number one tip is be authentic. Be authentic to yourself. Be authentic of who you are, where you come from, and where you want to be. As long as you're being authentic, everything else that you're going to provide, your product, your end product, is going to be credible. And that's important. You want anything, whether you're saying a speech at a gala, whether you're doing pictures or video, you want it to be credible and with high quality. And then be ready to have, to learn nonstop. I mean, photography is a nonstop learning experience. YouTube University is where I graduated from.
Yep.
Hands-on experience is number one as well. So definitely, practice and put in those hours of work and just take pictures of leaves on trees, learn the camera, in and out.
I always tell people the best camera you have, or the best camera to shoot with, is the one you have. Like, you don't need professional gear.
Right.
Go to use your phone, buy an old camera. You don't need to have top-notch gear to start taking pictures. Just start taking pictures.
I met a new photographer on Friday. She sells magnets and awesome magnets. They look amazing, and she just started doing it this summer. And the photos that she has already look good. She has some good equipment. But I told her, whenever you want, give me a call, because she did ask, you teach classes. and I don't teach classes. I was like, but I am available to talk, or if you want to jump on the session, family session. There's always opportunities at weddings or whatever to, hop on for an hour. Hey, take some pictures and learn, because hands-on experience is going to be your number one. For me, at least, that's how I learned, is hands-on.
Me too.
So I'm always willing, and my doors are always open for people to, hey, can I jump on with you on a session? Can I have some questions? I'm always available. So be willing to ask questions. There's so many photographers that I know personally that are open as well. They're not gonna hide any secrets.
Yeah, right.
Because really, like I said, I learned from YouTube, so
Yeah,
everything's out there already, anyways.
again, it is a community over competition thing.
Right.
That, yeah, like I'm an open book as well when it comes to anything I shoot, how I shoot, what I use,
Yeah.
the good spots in the Quad Cities to shoot at. Like, yeah, I think most 95% of photographers I know are that way too. So yeah, the best thing to do is just reach out and make friends with other photographers.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's crazy because mixing the art and business is some would think counterintuitive, as far as, people just think, well, that's art, it's not good. But, like you said, you got to make a living. And that's got to be the toughest part when you're doing what you love, to go, okay, but now I got to charge for this, or I got to charge for that, or I wanted to go to that anyways and take part, and yeah, because that would be tough. I mean, really, because you want to be there anyways doing this stuff. You're like, oh, thank goodness they asked, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now I get to get paid while I'm there, but you wanted to go anyway.
Yeah.
You probably would have been there anyways. So yeah, I could see where the financial part can get, okay, no, wait, I got to do this. I got to make sure I try, because I got to eat too, so forth. So, I think it's really important, and hopefully people understand more not just the capturing of the images and the moments, which I think is great. I think a lot of young professionals that are out there are going to miss a lot of things that they, and I ain't saying they need to go out and take pictures of everything. That is the one cool thing about Instagram and other things that are out there now, is that people are capturing more of those moments. Now, some aren't real, as we know, and some are, but I do think it's cool that people are able to capture some of those moments and go back and look at things, because I think it'd be important. But the struggles that the younger generations go through in business and whatnot, or even just life in general, and not seeing people like you and people like you working, not just doing your job, but working together, in the community. I think it's all this mine, I got this, I got that, I got that. And instead of seeing that, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm struggling because I'm a minority, or yeah, I got different struggles too. So, but seeing you guys work together and do, like I said, I can't say it enough. The stuff you guys did at our gala was tremendous. And the photos, man, you couldn't get away from the photo booth. And you were locked in there the whole night, trying to get some pictures, and people are like, no, give me more. But they all look amazing. Everybody there was dressed to the nines and looked beautiful that night too. But yeah, the stuff you guys captured, that I think is really important for a lot of the young men and women, minority, non-minority, whatever, to see that you guys could be there on the same thing, on the same stage, working together and putting out really good quality stuff. Because it could have been different if you guys didn't work well together. Like, I'm trying to get out of my way, or I'm trying to get stepping each other's way, right? I know. And yeah, I think on all across the board in business, that needs to be learned more and seen more. And I think you guys were really a great example of that night. And it shows in the work, it really does.
One of my favorite sayings, Mexican sayings, are "El sol sale para todos." So the sun comes out for everybody. And I definitely believe that, especially here in the Quad Cities. I know there's hundreds, maybe thousands of photographers here, but there's so much more people here that want photos, maybe even quadruple that amount, So there's plenty of people that need photos, weddings, quinceañeras, restaurants, businesses, whatever, and they need photos. And again, not every photographer is the same. Like, Joe's style is amazing. I tell him all the time, his cinematic style is amazing. I wish I could do it. I can't do it.
I wish I could do what you did. I have to shoot everything. I don't know. I wish I could shoot more like you. There's
Thank you. No,
different styles.
So every photographer has a different style, and so there's like people can change up their style whenever they want. Let me go with Joe. Let me go with Jessica. Let me go with Antonio. Whenever. I mean, like it's a good thing that we all have different styles.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I know, because like you said, the cultural stuff that you capture, even. I mean, not that you're not so much more than that, but it's a special eye to catch those things the way they need to be caught. The pride and dignity that some of the photos have in them just by looking at them. It's like, it could have just been a photo with somebody with face paint, but the way it's captured, you see like okay, there's like pride in that person, and that like it's very storytelling with the single shot. So it's really cool that you can, and yeah, I see that in some photographers that can't do that. And yeah, like I'd see some of your comments on some of the weddings that you captured. You're like, if you want your wedding to look like a movie or something, hey, I'm your guy, and it does. Some look like they're just kind of walking down this walkway, gliding and stuff, and it's
amazing.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just really cool to see the different styles and everything that everybody has. Because yeah, a lot of people, like someone like me that would be ignorant to it. If I didn't have an art background, would be like, oh, anybody can take a picture. Well, my wife reassures me that's not true. That is not true. Anybody cannot just take a picture.
I think anybody can learn how to take a picture. I don't think it's not something that it comes naturally. It's something you have to work for to get. Once you start understanding lighting, and I say that as I have light in my face. This is probably bad lighting for this podcast, but you just learn a little bit about lighting and angles, and it's going to take you far with photography, I think. So I don't think you have to be born with the photography skill. That's basically what I'm saying.
Got you.
But it helps to be artistic, though.
That part. No, I think it's the storytelling part of it that, yeah, you guys have, that it makes it so much better because, yeah, like if I took a picture of this river, it would just look like the dirty Mississippi River. If I took it, you probably see trash or something. That where you guys would capture it and it'd look like, wow, the river's beautiful. Big difference. But no, I mean, is there anything that you would like to say, like to not even just photographers, but young Latino males in general that maybe go through some struggles and have setbacks, that see people like you that are taking photos, and even all the photos, and that's the one thing, maybe not with you guys, but Instagram, that per general, everything looks in the photo like it's all put together and perfect. And we know that your journey wasn't, mine isn't, and yours wasn't to get there. No matter how much support you have, there's still struggles. What would you like to say to the young Latino males out there that can identify with you about whatever they're going through to try to, whether it's a career or find their path?
Probably two things. My dad tells me all the time, échale ganas y nunca te dejes. So make sure to put in the effort and defend yourself. So, and when I was a kid, I thought he was just yelling at me. My mom was yelling at me. But those are two things I really kind of live by. Like, when nunca te dejes, no te dejes is, defend yourself. Don't be used. Know your worth. Like, if I take some, dope, amazing photos, make sure that my time that is being spent is either being paid for or there's a transaction of some sort. Whether it's a general friendship donation or whether it's money wise, like it just needs to be something. Because I've learned there's gonna be people that are gonna want your images and with no transaction whatsoever, no credit whatsoever. Want your time, want your knowledge, your experience, without even saying thank you. So it's like, as long as you defend yourself and know your worth and you put in the work, that stuff that you learn, the stuff that nobody can take that away from you. And that's why I know my work is amazing. And I know, I'll lend my work to certain events that I know deserve it, because some events aren't able to obtain it, or some sessions or groups aren't able to obtain that level of experience of photos or work. I'll lend my expertise. And there's some that can pay for it, can really do it, but they want it, for free, or no, hey, yeah, don't tag this photographer, whatever the case may be. Like, I know my worth, and I know what I need for me to provide it to you or provide for whoever. So my biggest advice is put in the work, put in those hours. Make sure that you come out thinking that you're the best. Because if you know that and you put in those hours, and you can now defend yourself and be like, and know, hey, what your worth is, where you belong, where you can show up and be like, hey, here's my invoice, or hey, I would like to provide my services to you to help you out. I think those are my two biggest things: is put in the work and defend yourself and know your worth.
Yeah, I think the defend yourself is really, like, that's something you don't think about when it comes to what we do. But it's very important to not get taken advantage of in this, because there's a lot of people that do, yeah, like you said, I think a lot of people don't understand the work, or, another, like, look at what we do as like a fun hobby type thing. But like, yeah, know your worth. It's like the best way to put that. You're spot on.
And it happens to everybody. It happens everywhere. It happens to a lot of photographers. So that's why those are my two biggest things. Whether it's photography or whether it's being a leader or whatever aspect of a career you're in, just know your worth and put in the work. Put in the work, and all that stuff that you learn, all the stuff that you can do, they can't take away from you. They can take away from a position that you're at work, but they can't take away what you can do. You can do that somewhere else.
Right.
So that's my biggest thing.
Absolutely.
I would like to tell people that are coming up or that are, older than me, because that can still apply, I guess.
Yeah, no, it could. And I like that, that not that you said them in any particular order, but the first one you said was put in the work. I think that's something that gets escaped, especially in the younger generation, because everything looks like it comes easy when it doesn't. They don't see all the years of struggle prior to when people get to where they are. Like people look at big actors like, hey, Denzel Washington and this, that. Well, yeah, he used to be a garbage man. Harrison Ford used to be a mailman, stuff that people just think that, oh, they were always rich and big actors. And, they don't see the struggles of picking up people's trash, if that's what you did or whatever like that beforehand, and getting dirty and stinky after work and stuff. So I think putting in the work, I think that's such a big one that kind of gets overlooked, as far as people get so frustrated nowadays if something happens and by 2 months into it, I'm not doing 12 quinceañeras, music video shoots, and 2 weddings. And it's like, well, hold on, nobody's even seen anything you've done yet. But people get discouraged so quick. And that's why that was one of the earlier questions asked, were you ever discouraged and wanted to put the camera down? Because not that you're part of that younger generation at that age. You're not older. You're still way younger than me, but a little bit older than some of the fast-paced generations now that, I don't know if you got hit with some of that, like, oh, it ain't happening quick enough. I'm done,
Oh, no. Again, I wasn't focused on being a photographer. It just came naturally. I always had a camera, and now that I can make money off of it, all right, let's keep on going. Like, there's money. Okay, there's a slow season. It's totally fine. There's going to be money at the end or then the following season. Like, I never had a time where I'm like, nah, maybe I'll just put the camera down.
That's good, because I know for me personally, my busy seasons and my slow seasons are like 100 and then 0. Like, we're getting into the cold seasons right now, so I'm gonna be slow for a while. I'm not gonna make a lot of money, but when those busy times come back, then it picks back up. So there is like that's like the one struggle I think I have, or I used to have. I'm used to it now. But when I first started, I was like, how am I gonna get through December through March? But yeah, planning, I guess, is that's part of one struggle I have.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that goes back to kind of what you said earlier, where some people, in the family, like, that's not a job, because you don't have that consistency of, you might have a great month here, and then if the next month's dry, you're like, okay, shit.
Yeah.
Now what am I going to do the next couple months to make things happen? But hopefully I'll be able to keep both you guys busy.
We hope so too, just.
I do. Okay, work. I can get on that signals.
That's right. So no, hopefully we can. Are there any big public things going on out here in the public that you're going to be part of that people would maybe want to see?
I think the next coming one that I have that I can think of right now is just the Virgen de Guadalupe out in Augustana, the celebration that they have every year, December 6th, I believe. So make sure to go out and check them out. They always do an amazing job. They reached out to book me. This is the first time that they're investing in professional photography, and so I said, let's do it. Like let's make it happen. So it's gonna be
Investing is a good word there, because it is an investment. Photography is an investment to capture those, either whether it's memories or for them to use as advertising, but it's 100% an investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I say that to a lot of businesses that I talk to, and whether it's photography or videography or anything else that helps people remember what they did, I'm always telling you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. Because what good is it to have a huge event and nobody show up, or have a huge event and there's no photos or nothing for next year? If you guys could talk about how great it was, and they go, I don't, how do I know? I don't remember that. Like, everybody says their stuff's great. It's not necessarily. So yeah, it's definitely an investment, because they'll be able to show everybody, look at all the people, look how beautiful this was, look at that. And I think people kind of escape that because they're so busy in their business of just doing the day-to-day, that they don't think about, okay, but what am I going to do to show everybody else who's not standing in this room? Because, yeah, you might have 50, 60, 100 people in whatever your business is, but there's 500,000 people here in the Quad Cities, and so most of them don't get to see it. So you got to get it out there and spread it and show it. And I think that's where, with what you guys do, I think it's a underutilized investment, in all honesty, for most businesses. Because even if it's just a small, quick photo shoot, get your stuff out there. Show everybody what you have to offer, whether you're selling shirts or mugs, or you do machine work or a mechanic shop. Like, show what you fix, show what you've done.
Yeah.
Get that photographer out there to say, hey, look, I know everybody does it, but we do it this way, and it's a little bit better. Or you might like it better. Maybe it's not better, it's just different, but my way is this way. I think it's something that, like you said, that investment word is, I think people do not look at it that way as much as they should. So yeah, all the businesses out there watching, invest. Invest, because it really is. I think, with what you guys capture and help, any type of business really, besides the personal events that people get to capture and remember forever, but especially, like you said, quinceañeras and stuff with your kids, and that your kids grow up so fast, and you lose those days, and you need as much as you can to hang on to that. As like you said, whether it's just whatever camera you have, pick it up and do it. But yeah, people need to remember that stuff, because it can be gone so quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love what you guys do. Hopefully everybody in the community does. Hopefully you got to hear, some things that you get to say, because normally everybody just kind of sees you like this. It's actually probably the first time they've seen your whole face.
Yeah, instead of just one eye.
Yeah, yeah, they can probably catch you in the regalo, but outside of there, yeah, it's like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we didn't damage you too much.
No, I think we're good. No hard questions, and we're still not in trouble, so we're fine.
Well, the grilling starts now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one thing that I would like to know, though, before, we kind of end this up, is photographer, like, what are some questions that I should probably be asking that might be harder, that I just don't know to ask? Like,
I feel like I've asked most of the tough, like the struggle questions that I've had. The only other questions I would start getting the gear questions at that point, and we'd get a little
lost on that one.
We'd nerd out a little bit. I think is if I were to start asking more questions photography wise, it'd be the nerd stuff. But yeah, I feel like we've tackled most of the struggles is the big thing, like what you struggle with, and it's mainly for me it's slow months. But yeah,
I would just go to the opposite end. And what's your favorite part of photography? What's your favorite part?
What is your favorite part of photography?
I'm already naming you things. My favorite part of photography, man, is just either capturing the moment I had in my head, or capturing an unexpected moment that I didn't even think I grabbed. I think those are my two favorite things, I guess. Especially when I work on the computer and I see, the picture that was in my head is right here, and the capture is awesome, or even 2 times better. Like, it's amazing. And again, like, a little bit of it is luck. Recently, I did a Katrina mini shoot with Ana Maria Rocha, and there's women that lined up and dressed up as Katrinas. Each one had different stories. There's one in particular. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put on the smoke bomb. You know, the lights are gonna be flashing. Let's go. I was clicking. I was like, okay, there's something in my head. Like I see it, and I was all right. Hopefully, I get it. I was moving, like because they're moving. I was telling them to move. I knew I got something. I didn't know what it was. I got back to the computer. I was going through it, and I was like, that's the image. Like that's right there. Like that made me feel awesome. Like that. Like I would want that as a tattoo. Like that. Like that's those moments that I think are my favorite.
I do feel like luck is selling yourself short a little bit. I know what you mean. It is luck, but like you're putting yourself in that position. You were at that angle, you know, just because we're holding on the shutter 100 times. You know, it's easier now to be a dip bill than if we were back in film days. But you know, you put yourself in that position. You knew the angles. You knew the settings to use, especially when you start introducing flash or lighting into it. Like, you know, tiny bit of luck, but a lot of that's you.
Oh no, definitely. I said a little bit of luck. It tells me
You're right. Okay.
the reason I said a little tiny bit of luck is because with smoke you never know. Smoke you never left, right, in front. But it was perfect, and I was like, yes, that's a shot.
Great.
And she ended up loving it, and she had some kind words to say about it, and made me cry. So that picture I knew was awesome. So it was
That's awesome.
Those are my favorite moments. Is when people are happy with the moments that I've captured, or just me being happy. To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I'm sure all the events you do. I mean, like I said, you guys get to go out and travel and catch all these different events. But what would you say were one of your most fulfilling ones personally? Not necessarily like the event, because I mean they're all great events, I'm sure. But personally, that you took out of it, you were satisfied with, you know.
Sure. That's hard because I've done a lot of different types of events. I think I got two. That's hard. So there's one back in 2017. There was a Latino music festival in Wisconsin. It's called Los Dells. It was huge hitters from Daddy Yankee to Maná, Tucanes de Tijuana, Becky G, tons of different artists. I saw that they had it. I was like, man. I was like, I would love to be the photographer there. Like, I was like, I don't see like that they have like photographers. Or I mean, this is the first time they're doing it. I email them. I was like, hey, I'm interested. Here's my portfolio. Back in 2017, I don't know why they said yes. I was like, here's my portfolio. You know, I would like to talk to somebody about providing my services. Next week, I get a call. I was like, hey, this Antonio? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, we see your work. We like your work. And we like to offer you a position here at the festival for 2 days. I was like, let's do it. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, and I hang up, and I was like, all right. Told my wife, and then she's like, what's the details? I was like, hell no. I got so excited. I think I blacked out, and I just went up or what, but ended up going up there working and VIP for the whole family, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience getting up close and personal with these acts, meeting these acts, taking pictures. I was in cloud nine. I was like, man, this is amazing. I've never done a festival like this size before. I've done some small concerts here at the Mark, but nothing to the size. And I wish I would get the same opportunity now. But 2017, me, I was still good. But it was amazing. The big artists being so close and capturing it, like you being hired to do it, like that. It was something special. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot on the camera settings. I learned a lot about which lens to use. So it was a huge learning experience. But my second one was the Mexican Independence Day Parade. Shout out to Juanita Sartuche. She believed in my work, and she offered me, said, hey, I'd like for you to come take pictures. And this was like maybe 4 years ago. I believe 4 or 5 years ago. of the parade. If you can come out and take pictures of the parade. I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. And the pictures, not even the pictures, just me being there, capturing it, seeing moments that I never really paid attention to because I was always going and, you know, give me the candy. I was like, you just, you know, like I'm seeing moments that are like just freezing. Like I'm the first time I did the parade, I just held a camera and I was just looking. I was missing some shots because I was just looking. I was seeing everything in slow motion. Like there's people representing us, being proud of who we are, where we come from, in front of a diverse crowd on both sides of the street. Like this is like amazing. And then I was like, hey, wake up and all right, click and then click. And so I was, excuse me. So I was clicking and I was like, these are moments that I've seen growing up on Lowrider magazine. Like this is I loved those magazines. I loved certain movie posters. And so I was trying to capture it. My favorite picture out of really of all those parades was my friend Matt and then somebody from the danza from St. Anthony's. They were walking past each other. And then I'm like, hey, Matt. I was like, let me take a picture of you and let me take a picture of him. And so it was an Aztec dancer behind Matt. And Matt was in his regular clothes, a lowrider clothes. And I was like, all right, just stay right there. And I clicked. It was an art piece. I was like, man, like, I remember I printed out a big poster. I never even hung it. I was like, because I've got no space. Trust me.
Yeah, I could get that.
But after that event, that's when I really started to see how important representation and my job is in capturing those events or the people. It doesn't matter whatever event it is. My job is important to capture and represent those people that are in the event and those that are going to benefit from those events. And after that, I went full force. So let's go. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on doing it. And so, yeah, I really focused more on making sure that, you know, the stories being told or being represented so that my kids can see it, so that, you know, their kids can see it. Because I know when I was growing up, I didn't see a lot of that representation. I mean, on TV, on commercials. Now it's, yes, I can say yes. But when I was a kid, I didn't see very much of it. So.
Right. Well, and how much it was positive when you did.
Right.
You know? Yeah, no. Well, those are good. I love it. Those two, especially because, like you said, you were kind of stuck in awe as you were taking the pictures and had to wake up and get out. I mean, yeah, so that's awesome. And like you said, it drove you to just hit it full force and do it tenfold. And everyone around has benefited from your photos, I'm sure. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Reach out, comment below, like, subscribe. If you have any questions for any of our guests or co-host or host or whatever that may be, reach out to us. Let us know. But thank you. I appreciate it. I know this is harder for you to be in front of the camera instead of behind.
I was sweating. I'm ready for this to be over, but I appreciate it. I'm glad that we didn't say nothing to get us in trouble, but no, thank you. And thank you for the opportunities that you provided for certain events and all the work that you're putting in for the chamber and for the community. I can say that because I know that what you're doing. So it's just, so thank you. And hopefully there will be more people putting in that same work everywhere else.
No, well, thank you, Joe. Thanks for filling in today.
Hey, no problem.
Gotta love that, you know, especially with
it was perfect.
Yeah, no, right. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. And like you said, that sunshine, I can see it coming through on you, though. But like you said, the sun comes out for everyone, right?
It does. It does.
So yes, like, comment, subscribe. Have any questions? Leave them below. Looking forward to see more of your great work. Because we'll definitely probably have to get you out to our ribbon cutting when we get our new location and everything else.
Just let me know.
And we'll keep you guys abrupt to whatever events are going on. Hopefully get you guys there. And anyone else, please, like I said, invest. They could use you. So thank you. And come see us. Check us out. GQCHCC.com. Bridging cultures, building businesses. Thank you.
Thank you.